unique opportunity that we have today to have Jesus on. Speaking of Jesus, right? I get an opportunity to tell my favorite God joke. You know, God and Jesus, you may remember this, were playing golf with Moses. And, you know, they all stood up to tee off, and Moses, you know, it was about a 400-yard, you know, par four, and Moses got out his driver, and he knocked it, you know, about 380 yards, but there was a water trap, you know, water hole, right? And so the ball hits the water, and as you might imagine, Moses goes up with his staff and parks the water and, you know, chips onto the green. Pretty impressive, right? But then, you know, Jesus, if you remember, you were up next. And Jesus pulls out a 9-iron, you know, and Moses is like, what? You're not going to 400-yard shot with a 9-iron? And he goes, well, Tiger Woods can do it with a 7. You know, I'm Jesus. And so he hits the same shot as you might imagine. It hits the water too, but, you know, Jesus has a little more style. He walks over there to the ball. And when he does, some other golfers come up from behind, and they see this guy walking on the water. They see you up there, and, of course, they're astounded, and they go, who does that guy think he is, Jesus? And Moses says, no, he thinks he's Tiger Woods. It is Jesus. But then my favorite part of the story was God gets up to shoot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Do you remember this, Jesus? When we come back,
well, I'm gonna let you
we're gonna.
I think I remember reading this part.
Yeah, God's gonna shoot when we come back to Ireland, and more than that, you could call in and talk to Jesus. You've never had a chance to do that. To actually talk to him on the phone. This is your chance to say that today we're so blessed to have with us Gerald Wallens, who plays Jesus at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention, and you know, so in fact, you know, you get an opportunity to call in and talk to Jesus today. Not only to answer the riddle, but you can talk to him. To bring you back up to date, if you missed out on the beginning of this joke, I hate that for you because it's a great joke. It's actually my favorite God joke because it really makes a wonderful point, Jesus, that only someone that's walked with God for some period of time can see it. So you might remember Moses got up, hit the ball in the water, parted the sea, you know, knocked it up on the green. Jesus walked on the water, knocked it over. And now it's God's turn. He gets up. He just takes a driver. It's like, you know, a normal golfer. This is the Father. And he hits the ball, and it is just like the other two. It heads for the water. The difference is, this time, a frog comes up, grabs the ball before it gets into the water, and before the frog can hit the water, an eagle comes down, grabs the frog, flies over to the hole, drops the frog. The frog hits the green. The ball comes out of his mouth. Of course, you know it goes right in the cup. And at that point in time, you remember, Jesus, you turned to Moses and said, see, that's why I never go golfing with Dad.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my.
I'm glad
Three of us have fun together.
So anyway, the point of that, which I think is wonderful, is that if you've ever been around God, he doesn't necessarily just hit the ball in the, you know, things always come at all these different angles. Like, I never would have thought of that and that and that. And then all of a sudden, you know, he comes through. That's how it happens so many times. So at the end of all those shenanigans, you know, I'd actually have a riddle. Do you know who the smartest man in the Bible was? Who was the smartest man in the Bible?